everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis, and I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner who has lunch money.
And I'm Mitch, and I'm trying to send a subliminal message to Lewis to get better coffee.
Is this subliminal? I think it's just like...
I have to be obvious with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the lobster, what is it, butter?
Lobster butter.
Lobster butter love.
Yeah. I have some in there for you to try.
Is it bean?
Yeah.
Still have to grind it?
Yep.
I think I still have a grinder. Zadie or Roca, or Zadie or Rowdy, one of the two tried to chew it up. Still works, though. So
should be fine then.
Yeah. So Roos Roast is where Caden works.
Yep.
Mitch's son, and we've been there several times on trips to
Glass City. Yep.
For the marathon.
To Toronto.
Yeah.
Toledo.
Way
different areas.
And now we finally have some Roos Roast. Is it Roos? Yeah.
Roos.
ROOS roast. Go to roosroast.com. We are not sponsored by or affiliated with in any way, shape, or form.
Maybe we could be. If we get free coffee, I'm good with it.
If we are, we'll let you know.
Yeah. So if you order it online, the chances are Caden will pack it out for you and send it to you. So
yeah, there you go.
There's that.
Yeah. I mentioned I have lunch money because we had our garage sale. Well, this will be last weekend now. And it's funny I say that because you would think, not that $100 isn't a lot. It's $100.
It'll buy lunch.
Well, the thing of it is, we go on Thursdays to meet our daughter at where she works, which is at the hospital, and their lunch is so cheap, but it is good. They have a great cafeteria.
I would just go there for lunch then.
Well, we've talked about it, but Nicole and I. So here's the thing: we will go there and eat, and we get waters for $1.75. That's not the cheap part. And we each get one of those, right? Each get so it's $3.50 just that, right?
Each of you get an overpriced bottle of water.
And our total is like $13. Yeah.
Skip the water next time.
I know. We keep forgetting to bring our own, a water. And, but think about it. We got 10 weeks if we just bring our own water. 10 weeks of lunch.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. It was a good garage sale.
I'm going to go there.
You should. It's Holland Hospital.
Yeah, I could do that for lunch.
Come meet us.
Who are you here to see?
No, you just walk in. It's not.
My grandma.
Yeah, no.
My grandma's in here.
It's the main cafeteria. Anybody can go there.
Huh.
Come join us for a lunch Thursday.
I am sure I'm going to get teased for that when somebody hears this that I work with, but I'm all right with it.
How long would it take you to get there? Oh, you're as close as I am.
Yeah.
You're right around the corner.
I'm in.
Come meet us for a lunch.
Tell me next time. I'll meet you.
We'll be there this Thursday.
I'm not buying the water, though.
Yeah, bring your own water. BYOW. In today's episode, we're going to talk about running motivation. We've talked about motivation in lunch and where to eat it. And now we're going to talk about running motivation.
And I'm hoping Tim is fully engaged at this point because he's the one that inspired me to talk about running motivation.
Staying consistent.
And then here they do a group run in Holland, a few people at work, and so he
runs once a week.
I'm on a group chat. I don't even know if he does that. I'm just completely thrown under the bus because I got a text early in the morning as I'm getting ready for work, and they were all supposed to meet, and it's through work or whatever, and he canceled because he didn't get enough sleep. That's not being consistent.
Unless you do that a lot, you consistently cancel.
I don't know. I haven't been on this chat very long, and I'm probably going to get kicked off now, but yeah, that's not being consistent. Yeah. So you didn't sleep good? Suck it up.
Yeah. This consistency.
This is just my rant. Sorry.
That we're going to talk about is running once. Well, there's a level of number of days in the week you should be running that would equate to running
Being
consistency.
consistent. What we're doing is not consistent. It's consistently not running.
Yeah. Or if you're only running once a week, that is consistent, but it's not the type of consistency that's going to make you not hurt when you run.
Right.
You'll have some aches and pains. So anyway, we're going to talk about some things that will either, number one, the reason behind it a little bit. We're going to just touch on those a little bit, and then maybe some motivational things that will help you get out. Number one, why does consistency matter? And we just did a quick list here. Some of the benefits of consistency are just physical, mental, emotional, things like that. You will physically benefit from this. You're not going to hurt like what you were asked.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it.
How do I not hurt when I run?
Well, run more than one day a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Get out there and be consistent.
That's a quick answer, I guess. We could be done, but
it really is. There is a lot to that. And the mental side is, there is a lot of mental benefit to running. Any type of exercise, really, I should say.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But running is as well. And then emotional. Sorry, I just got distracted. My dog is running in his sleep right here.
I know.
Literally.
He's kind of hanging out today a little bit.
He is all over us, but it's funny. We might hear him start to
he was by my feet.
Chase squirrels.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an emotional aspect to it as well. Your emotions become more stable. They're not as peaked, highs and lows. I know personally, I have felt that recently, and I know it's because I'm not exercising. And
you talk about just my resting heart rate is not the same as when I was running. I see that already.
Yeah, I can think of, it's funny, my head, my mind goes to audio world for me and what I do a lot. And I think of, oh my gosh, this is such a bad description. I'm just going to skip it. It has to do with the compressor in audio and what it does. It knocks off the highs and the lows, and that's your emotions, your highs and your lows, right? And a compressor knocks that off and makes it a better balanced signal in audio. And that's what exercise and running will do for your emotional state.
I was
totally thinking of that.
I was worried you weren't going to bring this together, and that I think you got it.
That is so bad. So running is your compressor for audio.
I don't know where it fits, but that's great.
Yeah.
You lose your spot now?
No, I totally have it, but I just don't know how to go to other than just saying it. The next thing, why consistency matters, is the compounding effect of small efforts. Small efforts will, they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Not one bite at a time, not all in.
It's not a mouthful.
Not a mouthful, right?
That was a mouthful.
I'm making it that way. Avoiding injury through regular practice. Again, why the consistency? It's going to help you avoid injuries, things like that. I know for me personally, the times that I have the times where I've been injured usually have equated to not getting in enough consistency in my runs. Whether it's a pulled hammy or whatever, a strain, cramping, things like that, often are because I'm not logging enough miles.
And there's a lot of stuff around that. I mean, obviously, warming up that we don't like to do.
It's not necessary.
Stretching that we don't like to do.
No.
There's all that other stuff that goes with it.
That is not on the I don't know running checklist of running. Should be, but it's not. But yeah.
But those things can also cause issues.
Yeah. Some common motivation challenges that we all face. So we're going to just touch on a few of these. Go ahead.
It was funny. I want to add to this, as long as we're talking about benefits. I was rolling down because we both searched on this at the same time. One of them on here is better sleep. I just want to point that out again.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a good point.
Of running.
Yeah, it really is. I would be curious to know.
Regular exercise can lead to better and more restful sleep, which in turn positively impacts your mood and energy levels.
I wonder.
So if he has an angry outburst for me throwing him under the bus, it's because he's not running enough. Not because I threw him at Tim.
I would be curious to know if that study, I'm guessing it's as a whole, but does it matter AM or PM when you run?
You know,
I'm just curious.
I don't know, because I think AM, to me, since I switched and started running in the morning, it's made a world of difference. I mean, obviously it hasn't
For
made
better sleep though?
Yeah, all the way around. I mean, I wake up early anyway, but definitely.
I wonder if that's why, that's part of the reason why you have to get up earlier to run, which makes you tired earlier in the evening, so you go to bed.
I'm all right. I'm an old man. I go to bed early.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
No, but that is a good point. Yeah,
but I think that when you exercise, when you exercise at night, you're kind of wired before you go to bed.
That's what they say. They actually say you need to have a few hours, or at least a couple hours before you go to bed when you exercise, because you're, I don't know, there's something between the mind and the muscles that.
And I feel like when I run in the morning, even if I start out tired, by the time I get to work, I'm more awake when I get to work.
Yeah.
So I think that
I am definitely
that's
not
just my personal experience.
I am definitely not arguing for or against, but I'm not saying, I think there's a huge benefit to doing it in the morning, period. 100%. Way more than in the evening. I was just wondering which one would make you rest better, AM or PM exercise.
Remember,
and I'll bet you it's AM.
But think about
what we just talked about.
How about when you get done with a 100-miler and all you want to do is go to sleep, and then you lay there with your eyes wide open?
Almost never.
No?
No, after a 100-miler?
I feel like
I have crashed.
I feel like I knock out, and I'm, after an ultra especially, and I'm still like moving my legs, like I'm all jittery and stuff.
Nah,
I've only done 100, but I know I didn't sleep for crap that night.
No?
No. I almost passed out, but then after that, I was like,
I have crashed. Now, like even Western, I mean, think about it, like you getting, any, not necessarily Western, but any race that starts in the morning, you're finishing in the morning, roughly. I mean, 24 hours is going to be 6 a.m.-ish or whatever.
But even that 100K, I laid there like I thought I couldn't sleep.
Well, the problem with the 100K is that one
it starts
at 4 p.m.
But I was done at like 5 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
You'd think I'd be ready to go to bed, and I was not.
Yeah, and I was thinking the 100-miler, which you're done at like 4 p.m. at least. Yeah. Either way, exercising does help rest. Yeah, let's talk about some motivational challenges. These are some common ones. Weather, obviously. Hot, too cold, rainy, too windy, whatever.
Rain sucks.
Rain does suck. But the thing of it is, you say that, but there are times where it's nice. Like you hit just the right temperature and not wind. It's just kind of a nice mist. There are great times to run in that.
Yeah, for me, it's starting in the rain. But if it starts raining while I'm out there, I'm like...
When you're already warmed up?
Yeah. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Unless it's 40. That is not fun when it starts to rain.
Ask Sean how she felt about the rain.
Oh, yeah. Work, obviously, can be a challenge, especially if you do the PM run, because it wears you out. You might come home, or you might have a goal, or you might have a plan to get home, 6 o'clock, get your run in. It might even be a short run, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But depending on what happens at work that day, you could be totally exhausted and boom, you're throwing in the towel. So definitely a common motivational challenge, work.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I just think about when I used to run at night all the time, and you have a bad day at work.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the first thing you want to do.
Hard. Very hard. And you know that feeling when you walk in the door and you can just relax. The last thing you want to do is like, I gotta get my run in. Family commitments, obviously family matters and should come first. So that can oftentimes, oh, hey, we got to play tonight for the grandkids. Oh, dang it. Well, I should have got my run in. You never have to say that.
You're not saying that now, though. You're like, oh, good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I don't have a run. But you never have to say that because you get your run in the morning.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of plays at 4 a.m.
No.
Not a lot.
Sometimes they go later than I want them to, though.
The plays? Yeah. That goes till 8. What?
Well, for us, it would be band, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, man.
Not going to get home till 8:30? That's way past my bedtime.
Like, I have to eat at 4 o'clock. I mean,
that's dinner time, right?
kind of.
Mental barriers like boredom or self-doubt. Another common motivational challenge. Boredom, that's a thing. I think depending on where you're running, what you might be into when you run, whether that's music or podcasts, things like that. Those are some things you might have to look at. But yeah, totally if you have a super boring route, maybe you got to find a different route. And physical setbacks like fatigue or minor injuries. These are things that you are going to get with inconsistency. So this is why consistency matters. Let's jump into some strategies to stay motivated. The first one, set real and clear, or some clear and realistic goals, short and long term.
I don't have anything written down here, but I'm thinking about what I've done in the past is, signed up for races. I think that was that's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Knowing, and I don't think that's a big enough goal for some people though, because how do you know so many people that come to a race not trained?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily it's not always that things got in the way. It's a lack of motivation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think there's a big difference in whether that's your first race or your 100th race. A lot of times too, or maybe it's your 5th race or something where I know the first couple of marathons, man, I trained my butt off, but marathon 3 or 4, it was like,
So for me, it's got to be shorter term goals. Like you have to have that race out there, then you have to have short term goals.
Well, I know that
I think that's big.
Huge. And I think that anytime you write it down, let's say not just the marathon, all right, I've got or whatever race, 10K, you have to then backtrack and go, my goal this week is 20 miles. Over the course of 4 days, 5 days.
And it could be broke down even more. And you can break it, if you're going to write it down, say, what's it take to get to 20 miles this week?
Yep.
So what days am I going to run?
Yeah.
And then making it fun within that, saying, okay, I'm going to run 3 miles today. Maybe I'm going to pick a route that I haven't run before.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something like that just to make it, I'm going to run a different, in a different area every day.
Yeah. Yeah, so, run from work, do whatever. Obviously, pay attention to your surroundings, things like that. But make it fun. Yeah. But setting clear, realistic goals is super important. The other part of that, other side of that, and not other than the clear, is the realistic. If you're in the beginning stages of your first marathon and your long run has been 8 miles, don't set a realistic or a goal of hitting 15. It's got to be realistic, especially within the guidelines of not getting injured. Like, oh yeah, I could do that. I've done it before. Well, is that setting you up for potential injury?
We've all crash trained. I mean, there's that. But
yeah.
I don't know that's smart.
Definitely not recommended. And short and long term, as we mentioned, you have the long-term goal of the marathon. Short term, what's that week? What's that day? Whatever. Set those goals. They're really important. I did see, I can't remember, I watched some video. Some guy was talking about the success rate of those that write down their goals and set those goals. Like if we talk about, I want to do a marathon next year, but never set the goal, chances are you're not going to do it.
Right.
But if you do write down and set that goal, you have a way higher chance of succeeding.
A big part of it is accountability too, and telling people that that are going to hold you to it.
Yeah. Set importance of measurable milestones, especially if it's your first time. pay attention to those. They are super important. The first time I ran 10 miles, the first time I ran 12, the first time I ran, whatever the next distance is, those are huge.
And it could be, within that too. And if it's not your first one, it could be, hey, I did this 10 miles faster than I did last time, or I did this.
My heart rate was 5 beats slower this time.
Right. Yep.
That's improvement. Those are things to recognize.
And us old guys that, we're slow to technology. And I do love my Garmin, and I look at the data on that all the time. But that's why it's fun to have gadgets sometimes too, to look at how you've done, and it shows trends, and you can see that.
Yeah. Especially the more they keep adding things like that.
Yeah.
I love the heat maps, things like that, to show, man, I've ran a ton in this area.
Right.
Yeah. Be creative and have a creative and flexible routine. It's super important, especially depending on your lifestyle. If you have a super busy lifestyle, you need to stay creative and flexible. You might have to split up a run. Oh, I got to get in, because it is okay. Like, it's not the same, but it's okay. I need to get in 20 miles, but I can only do 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening.
That's wild. When Rob and I paced at Glass City one year, there was a girl that never did a 20 miler. She did all of her long runs were split. I mean, she paid for it.
Yeah.
But all of her long runs, it was like a 10 mile in the morning and a 10 mile at night type stuff.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
You know what? If that's what gets you through.
Yeah. And it's not the same, but I would say the biggest part of being not the same is mentally. Not knowing what it feels like to run that long at once.
To me, the 20 miler is all about the mental.
It prepares you mentally, for sure. 18 to me was always the hardest long run. Always. I could do 16 and 20, fine. Because 16 seemed, I don't want to say easy, but it was a much more attainable, quicker, to get to 16. 18 sucked. But 20 always felt okay because it's 20. You're into the twos, the 2-0.
Yeah.
So it was more, I just was more motivated to get there. 18 always sucked. I hated 18 miles.
Just do 20.
Yeah, it's either 16 or just skip it and go to 20.
Yeah, I agree. I support that.
So stay flexible. Mornings, evening runs, planning around your lifestyle, not against it. I think that's an important one too. Like we mentioned, if you have an active lifestyle, plan around it. Don't shake everything up and make running no fun because of it. Find your why. This is super important as well. We all know everything that we do, we have to have a why behind what we're doing it. Otherwise, what's the point? We do this podcast because we love talking about running. We found ourselves always talking about it. Well, hey, let's share. We've got a lot of experience with failing at running, and let's talk about it and share. And hopefully somebody gets something from it. Find your why. Why are you doing whatever you're doing? But I think that's across the board with just about anything. Another, I will say possible, but because this doesn't always fit for everybody, but is make it social. We do that. You are a big part of the social side of things. That's a big part of your running.
I've been in a lot of different running groups and led different things, and I do think that stuff is important. Like you talked about Jim and people that would show up, and he'd be the first person to walk up and talk to him.
Yeah. Pull them in. It does make a difference. I showed up on Wednesdays. It did help me run. 100%. Helped to keep me accountable, things like that. It also does say, make it social, virtual races. Right?
What?
I don't quite understand that. Virtual races, but it's social? Is it the connection of the virtual connection?
I don't understand.
It's not the same.
I don't understand that either. Like, I get it. Like, things have changed with COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I think that makes it
introduced a lot of that.
It introduced a lot of that. And I can understand a little bit of that idea, but I don't know how that replaces running with people. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely does. It's not a replacement. It's something different.
It is different.
There is I would say that it is a tough one. But it is just different. It's just different. I mean, it's just different. It's not wrong. It's just different.
Not for me.
It's not for you, but it's just different. Accountability buddies help to keep you running, of course. That's across, again, anything like that. Embrace variety. Get out there on the trail, do tempo runs. Within a training structure, too, that's huge. Like, it's easy to go, I'm going to train for a marathon, and I'm just going to run X amount of miles.
I've done that.
Yeah. Each week, increasing by X amount percent each week. That'll get me there. Yep. You can do that. That will get boring if you're not social, or if you're not adding in some other things. However, if you get a training plan that's doing tempo, fartleks, things like that, all these different things, speed work, and
that goes back to the goals, is hitting those workouts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it does go back to that.
Is not even it helps keep it broke up and more interesting and not boring. Yeah.
It does both.
Yeah. Embrace the variety, again, helps keep it motivating. Yeah.
But when you're in the middle of those training plans, though, and you get to that one that you don't really like, like for me, it was like when you start doing repeats,
1 mile, like 1 mile repeats.
When you get to the 1 mile and it hasn't, and the pace hasn't changed yet, like it still wants you to run like the 400s pace.
Yeah.
And you get to them, and I'm like,
those hurt.
Yeah, and I would
improve your running, though.
And it would mess with my stomach. Like I'd be thinking, this is when I used to do it, and I'd run at night. I'd be thinking about it while I was at work.
Oh,
like I got to do that stupid hard workout tonight. I don't want to do it.
Man, I did like the interval workouts, things like that. I did like them. They were hard. I didn't necessarily look forward to them.
But man, they help you.
They do help you a ton. Yep. Embrace variety. Another thing, music, podcasts, things like that, like listening to our podcasts on your runs. I'm sure that will help you. I think it's proven it will take 15 minutes off your marathon.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
Yep. You want to lose 15 minutes on your marathon, listen to our podcast. And during your training, works every time.
Lose where you're at for 15 minutes and add 15 minutes to your time. Maybe that. Yeah, that's possible.
Or new running locations, as we talked about before.
Oh, I love that.
Yep. Celebrate the small wins. Reward system. We talked about that.
Treats.
Yeah.
Everybody likes treats.
And the reward system is easy to do now because you can easily track what you're doing with like things like Strava and stuff like that, or the Garmin Connect app, things like that. Monthly reflections, look back. Big thing is tracking. Oh, did I hit whatever 100 miles or no?
300 miles in a month.
300 miles in a month to get to 2,000.
Is that what it is?
Well, that would be 3,600. Right? 300?
Yeah. Well,
3 times 12 is 36. 3,600. That's a lot. What was your most in a year?
I was just shy. I was coming up on 4. It seems like
that's a lot.
It was.
You were doing 8 mile a days?
I was doing
minimum
8 minimum, and then I started to jump up to 10.
Then you got hurt,
and then all those long runs. I did 22 marathons that year.
That's a lot.
Well, 22 plus, including a 50 miler, 100K, and a 100 miler in that year. And those 22.
Is that all in the same year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, because it was 100K Woodstock, 100 mile at Tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And was that the 50 mile at Marquette?
I can't remember what 50 that was. I'd have to look
sure.
No, that was to my detriment. I did the 50 miler, and I dropped it that year. I dropped at the 100 miler at Woodstock because it was only 3 weeks later.
Oh, that was the year before. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I still had blisters on my feet. That's when I told Tammy that I wasn't going to try it again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I lied. She's still mad at me.
Yeah. So celebrate those small wins. Real stories. Talk to people that have done this in your running groups. They're going to give you a lot of their experiences with consistency versus not.
Yeah, I can't stress enough. Like when you run with people, there is that accountability thing. They're not going to let you off as quick.
Yeah.
And they're going to support you.
Yep.
It is.
There's a lot
important.
to that.
There is a lot
But again,
to it.
that's going to come with being in a group, being social,
Yeah.
things like that. You're not going to get that from doing it all yourself. Not that you can't, certainly can, but these are things that will help you stay motivated for consistency. Yeah. A couple of things that will help you get there the next, or will help you in those fleeting weak moments is a couple of things they have here. 5-minute rule. If you're really not looking forward to something, the 5-minute rule is just do it for 5 minutes. And with running, that often means you got out the door, got you started. And even though you're just go get in a mile, you end up getting in like 5.
And if you're a friend of mine and you're thinking about not doing something or canceling, just remember, I'm not going to let you off so easy.
Yeah, and if you don't know the
voice
route,
in your head.
If you don't know the route, you might go out for a 4-miler and end up with 8. So careful. Take water every time.
I can't wait to get out with these people that don't know me very well.
Or the location, the route. Yeah, it's a 4-mile route. Don't worry.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's what I look forward to the most of starting to run again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Having people go further.
I'll kill myself just to do it.
Another thing is lay out your clothes the night before. That's a huge one. If you have everything there and it is ready to just jump into, you don't have to, what do I need? If you don't have to think in the morning, it is huge. Mm-hmm. You just throw it on and go. It is a huge thing to keep you going for consistency, especially in the morning.
It's not the same as pre-race. You don't have to take a picture of it.
Yeah, you don't have to post it every single day that you run. And then positive self-talk tips. It helps for some people, doesn't help for others. But I will say, and we have mentioned this in the past, positive self-talk will help you immensely over negative. You will easily talk yourself out of stuff with negative talk.
Picture what you want, not what you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is a list of some things that will help keep consistency and the why behind it. Hopefully those things help get you there. Hopefully some of those things help keep you motivated to do it. Yeah, do you have anything on your list?
No, that was it.
Pretty much hit them?
You hit them.
We were looking at the same list.
It wasn't the same order though.
Oh.
So I had to kind of move through a little bit.
But we hit them. So, yeah, if you like what you heard, subscribe, share, comment. And yeah.
Comment either way.
Comment either way. Yeah, especially if you don't like it. We love those.
If you think I'm a grumpy old man, comment.
That is going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.